The Antaeus Playwrights Lab is, I just have to say that's very important. It's pivotal. I'm struggling to find the words because I'm so emotionally attached to it. So I feel that it's important that this one, it creates community, and writers, you are working alone, at your computer, whatever, you're working alone quite a bit. And so to have a lab when you come together and you not only get to share each other's work, but just, you're in community with people, super important. And then the other part is that it is incubating work in some way, somehow. So whether the work is never heard or whether the work goes on to be produced, you're still incubating. You're working as a writer. Like, the lab puts you to work in a way that you might not otherwise have the opportunity to do. And I think for the other theater companies in Los Angeles and elsewhere, but specifically in Los Angeles, that have this type of thing, I think it's super important to do this. So speaking from my perspective as a Black woman, and I'm an emerging writer, but I am not emerging in age, so there's these things provide opportunity. It provided opportunity for me, and it provide opportunity for others to actually, again, be writing and have your work seen within a group, and hopefully then be produced like mine was. So labs are incredibly, they're just, they're nurturing, and they just have legs that are kind of invisible in some ways. And I think they're super important that they exist. And also, one other thing that's really great about this particular lab is that Antaeus has its own, its own acting company. So we have the greatest caliber of actors coming to this work. And so sometimes they're part of, clearly, when we have the readings of the work during our Playwright Lab nights, they're there and they're a part of the process. They're bringing this work to life for you and with you, and with talent that is like at the top of what Los Angeles has to offer. So that's also cool to kind of have them be a part of a development process, and they're bringing, their heart and soul to it and making it great. But yeah, Antaeus, the actors are, top tier. So when it comes to involvement, I think that other actors and playwrights getting involved with Antaeus is, it's crucial. I mean, it's something where, of course, you have to be invited. And I say that in a way that, what do I want to say? Once you're there, it is its own world. It's its own thing that becomes this organism that is creating work that is far reaching with its potential. And so for that word alone, potential, I think that's one reason to 100% be involved with Antaeus, because it's a stronghold in the community. It does great work as an organization, provides opportunity for many people in many ways, from, on stage, off stage, behind stage, all of that kind of thing. And I just think it's important to be a part of something that is doing its best to provide for the community, provide not just entertainment, but provide experiences. When I say experiences, I mean that all encompassing. So here we are, and we're asking ourselves, when is it safe to go back to theater? Why is it safe to go back to theater? And, how do we support Antaeus? So I have to say for myself, I still think it's a personal, I think it's a personal choice, because, not everyone feels comfortable. I personally feel comfortable being in a theater, and I'm like chomping at the bit to go. And I think I've gone to one or two plays so far, and I felt okay. There was one where I was like, oh gosh, like early on, like, oh, it's too close. And that's why I say it's personal, because I feel that everyone's level of comfort is in a different place. And then I will offer this huge but if it's there, then I say go, and I say go because of the love of theater, not because I'm trying to be flippant about safety. But I do think it's a personal choice. Keep yourself safe, and if the environment is right, then I think you should go. And it's important specifically to go to Antaeus because I feel that the work is good, and because it's been, it's been worked on for so long, like everyone, but really these past couple of years of incubating this work and getting it out there. I think it's important to just to be a part of the experiences that Antaeus is putting out there. It's great work. It's work with messages. It's also classics and things that people do enjoy. I think that the content is curated in a way that is thoughtful and timely. So Antaeus is important in the Los Angeles theater community, and it's important that we support it literally so that it can continue. So, there's been a lot of changes in theater just in terms of, it's a big topic, but just say like in terms of having to provide, to pay people, just to put it frankly, and that just makes productions, it balloons how much money is going out to just put on something simple. And it's important to support, because what's happening, for example, is that to put on a play, because the cost is so high, we are getting plays, for example, that might only have two characters in it. And whereas before, that story may have been told with 10. Now, is that wrong, bad, good, whatever? Not necessarily, but when you have to choose a play that only has two people in it because of cost, that makes me think about something. Like, what are we saying? What are we doing? Like, what's happening? And but it's a 100% reality. So because of that, we do not want to have to curtail art any further than it is, good or bad. And so it's just important to keep supporting it best you can. And that can be financially, and honestly, it can be time, but dollars go far. So it's really important to support theater like Antaeus.